All right, so I looked up the definition. Tonight is called Worship the King. So we're going to get into what it means to worship the King, and what it says about God, what it says about Jesus, what it says about kings in the Bible. But I just want to read real quick. I looked up the definition of a king, and it says, a person regarded as the finest or most important in their sphere or group. Okay? And so he is our champion, so he is our king. He is number one. But just recently, how long ago was that? Earlier this summer?
Yeah, it was a couple months ago.
A couple months ago, he was in a tournament here in Texas with a bunch of other wrestlers, and he won it, and he was crowned the King of Texas. Okay, so that's that's kind of a big deal because y'all know Texas is a huge wrestling state, and there's a pretty good competition around here. But this guy won it. So what was that like, winning that and kind of, I mean, the crown, the title? What's that like?
It's surreal. I mean, when I started, I was a 15-year-old sophomore student in high school when I started wrestling, and at the time, my goal was just to make a name for myself in this business. Let alone, fast forward 10 years and then be regarded as the king of the state of Texas. And Texas has become a hotbed for professional wrestling. It's got all this talent. So to be considered the king of the state, 10 years ago, if you told me I'd be the king of the state or considered royalty in the state, I would have called you crazy. Right, exactly. Well, you know what? I talked to some kids before the service. I got 5 of them, and I want them to come up here because they have some questions for you. So once I talk to you, y'all come up here. Come line up right here next to me. Come on, don't be shy. Y'all aren't shy. Come on. All right, Noah, come up here. What is your question for the King of Texas, Barrett Brown?
Did you start working out when you were a kid?
Ooh, that's a good question. I did. I started working out whenever I was in the 7th grade when I was in middle school, because whenever I was in kindergarten, I got a bad case of pneumonia. And so the medicine they put me on, I gained a little bit of weight, and I decided I wanted to do something about it. So, because I wanted to be a wrestler when I was young, I knew I had to be in really good shape. I decided, I need to start working out, watch what I eat, all that stuff. So, about the 7th grade, I started working out and just getting in the best shape of my life, and I haven't stopped.
So you knew probably around these kids' age you wanted to wrestle.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I kind of grew up around it.
Okay.
My parents, it was always on the TV every week,
right.
And that fire when I would watch it never died.
Right.
It just kind of grew. So.
Okay. All right, Rock. What question do you have for Barry?
What got you into flipping?
He's into the high flying stuff. He wants to know why you like that.
I mean, I'm not the biggest guy in the world, so I can't really pick up a lot of the big guys, right? So I got to do something else about it. But when I was little, I had a trampoline, and that helped me out a lot. That helped me out a whole lot. But yeah, I can't pick up some of those guys, man. I can't throw anything. Yeah, I probably couldn't.
Well, probably now, not Big Rob, but probably now.
Right.
Yeah. All right, good question. All right, Brody.
With being in a bunch of different wrestling societies, and now a lot of people do drugs and alcohol, and is it hard to keep a Christian profile when you were surrounded by drugs and alcohol?
That's a very good question.
Wow.
So I have made a lifelong goal of staying basically straight edge. I've never drank alcohol. I've never done any drugs, smoked cigarettes, anything like that. I always abide by the golden rule because I want to earn respect, and I want to give people that same respect back. So regardless of where I am, I always give them that respect, and I expect it back. If they don't give it back, then that's on them. I want to be remembered for being a humble guy and for doing the right thing. And so regardless if the environment ends up being a negative environment, I want to be kind of that light that could bring it into a positive.
Awesome. Great question.
How is it to feel about being champion of the state?
Champion of the state. It's really, really cool because, like I said, there are a lot of really talented guys in the state. I mean, you look at the guys that wrestle here; they're all really good. and some of those guys look up to me. And sometimes I think that, yesterday I was just that 15-year-old kid that started wrestling. So it's very humbling, and it kind of feels like a dream. It doesn't feel like it's real sometimes, but it's really, really cool.
Awesome. Good question. All right, Colton, what do you got for me?
Would you think that you'd be here from 10 years ago till now?
I'll be honest with you, I don't know, because a lot of stuff has happened in 10 years. Over the last 10 years, I've been on WWE 4 times. I've wrestled at big companies like Ring of Honor. I've been to Los Angeles for New Japan Pro Wrestling. But I'll be honest with you, man, it's really cool to be in a company like this and be a champion, because there's not another place like CWF, because this place mixes my passion for pro wrestling with my beliefs. And it's so cool to be the face of a company like that. And being here means just as much as me wrestling in Dallas for Monday Night Raw. So, to be honest with you, man, I think in the back of my mind, maybe I believed I could do it, but I wasn't sure if it would actually happen. But here we are. So always believe in yourself, okay? You can make anything happen.
Awesome. Man, great questions, guys. So the kids, man, those were some pretty thoughtful questions, wasn't they? That some of those kids asked. Those were really good. I sent those out a few days ago and asked them to put some thought into it. And they made what they wanted to ask. And so, do you feel that this is I know it's a huge responsibility, but kind of being crowned the king of Texas wrestling, do you feel that's like a responsibility, having that title? Anytime you walk into another wrestling organization and people say, oh, here, you have that picture up there, Josh? You can flash that picture back again. And, I know you wear this to the ring. It's fit for a king. You got your belt. You got, you look like a king there. Do you feel that sense of responsibility?
Absolutely. When I was crowned the King of Texas, I knew that to represent this entire state, a state that, I was born in, grew up in, I've been here all my life, I knew that I had to represent it properly. So I try to dress my best when I show up at shows. Obviously, in the ring, I try to dress so you know exactly what I am, what I'm about whenever I walk out of the curtain.
Sure.
I don't know, it's like, when I started, I didn't think I'd have such a big responsibility, I guess you could say. I never thought I'd be a king,
right,
obviously. But, I walk into locker rooms that I've never been in before, and guys automatically know who I am, which is very humbling, because I'm still not used to that. Not used to guys really knowing who I am, or guys coming up to me and be like, hey, did you watch my match? Did you see this? What can I improve on? Mm-hmm. And sometimes I still don't feel like I'm qualified enough to do that kind of thing, but then I look back on what I've done and maybe I am.
Mm-hmm. Well, that leads into my next question. Do you feel like when you walk into a locker room, you feel like you're a leader, or do you feel like there's some people that they look up to you, or you feel some jealousy, some envy? Oh, why did he win this? Why is he, do you feel both, or how's that feel?
I guess it's a mix of both. I would say more so like a leadership role. It's really cool, because right now the state of professional wrestling, especially in Texas, it's in a really good spot. There's not a whole lot of negativity, at least not that I've run across just yet. There are a few that will take little jabs here and there, mostly teasing, but some I know that could be out of jealousy. But a lot of people, they do end up looking up to me as a leader, like a locker room leader. A lot of guys will actually come out to my place, because I have a full-blown training facility at my house, and they'll come out, they'll ask me for advice, what they can work on, all this stuff, and again, that's something I'm still getting used to.
Right.
But I would say more so a leadership role than anything else.
Okay. Have you run into people that may, if you follow wrestling and stuff online, or I know people take jabs at you, and in some of these other locker rooms, and like you said, this place is different, and so I'm sure your faith has been probably tested a time or two with, hey, come do this, or how come I don't hear this come out of your mouth, and stuff like that. So how do you respond? Like you said earlier, is it just kind of that golden rule?
Pretty much the golden rule, and I like to be so professional that people automatically know what I'm about when I walk into the room. There's actually a guy who, he's a Christian guy, but he doesn't really follow the Christian path, should I say. But I'll be honest, anytime that he's around me, because he knows me this well, and I'm either approached to go do some kind of a drug in a parking lot or something like that. If he's around and he hears it, he knows how passionate I am about my belief system, that he will butt it. He's like, hey, no, like, don't ask him that again. Like, he's not going to do it.
Okay.
Don't put him in that situation. And that's really cool to have people that know me well enough that they're willing to defend me and my beliefs.
Yep.
And, you know, and I think I'm strong-willed enough that I would defend it anyway, but just the fact that people will do that for me, I think it kind of says that I'm doing the right thing and I'm making people, you know, really believe what I believe in.
Right. Well, our faith is constantly tested, and he's in a big, got a big target on him when he goes to some different places. And I've just known, you know, I mean, you were a teenager the first time we met you, and your parents have been, you know, what a great support system you have, coming to events, and man, I mean, you can just tell by you know, being around your folks that you have been raised in an environment that loves God and that is 100% professional. Because I mean, when your actions speak louder than words, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to. That's the best thing. So, Barrett, I appreciate you being here with us tonight, and I know the kids are excited. If you don't mind running back there with them for just a few minutes, and then we'll. Oh my! Yeah, be sure to get that.
Back in the day.
Awesome.
Power slam. Golly, Captain, that looks painful. Whoa.
Never underestimate 50 caliber Barrett Brown and his ability to kick out.
Both these guys struggling to get back up. Kelly Hayden finally up. I'll tell you what, Captain, I wonder if Kelly Hayden can reacquire this CWF title here. He just recently lost it after holding it for over a year.
Well, he was on the captain's corner earlier, and I tell you, Rodney, he had things up his sleeve, and there's a lot of stuff going on in between those.